when you hear my name, Charles Beloved, you expect a certain vibe, you expect a certain curation, you expect a certain demographic of people that's gonna be there, which is gonna be an inclusive space. You're gonna feel like you belong, but most importantly, you know you're gonna have a good time.
Welcome to the Art of Party podcast by Event Wall. My name is Jeff Osuji, co-founder and CEO of Event Wall, where community, culture, and events intersect. And today we got a very, 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 very special guest with us.
Then you stankin'. What the thinking? I don't die with my label, what I talk about. Throwing yard, bro.
A brother I know for quite some time.
My brother.
Damn near 20 plus years.
20.
Straight out of Chicago, Lane Tech High School, West Side's finest. West Side's finest. You may know him as a CEO, president, founder of RNB House Party, one of the nation's top traveling parties in the country. An entrepreneur we have a lot of respect for, who's traveled worldwide with his talent of hosting events and putting together some of the top-notch events in the country. So we're here in LA, Brother Charles Kuykendoll. What's going on?
What's going on, baby? I'm excited to be here. That was a great intro. He doesn't say nice things like this to me, so I gotta take this W while I can.
He get one. This is my brother right here. He lying. I text him all the time about how much he's killing him, man. I'm excited to have you here, brother.
Thank you, man. I'm excited to be here. I love what this is, man.
Hey, you got a big party tonight that's going on. So
I do. We got to get to it. Yep,
okay.
Yep.
Wonderful. So we're going to get started, talk about Charles, right? Charles, from Chicago, clearly somebody that's talented from an event hosting perspective, and just, for me, just one of the most genuine people I know that has a gift of connecting with people. Talk to me about the importance of leveraging events to build community.
Yeah.
And how you've leveraged your talents as a host. Like, what does it mean for you to bring people together for your events?
Yeah, man. And one of the things that really resonated with me this year, R&B House Party started in 2016, so I've been doing this for some time, and it was okay, who do I want to be? I was in my 20s when I started, I'm in my 30s, I have a family now, I'm married, 2 kids, like who do I want to be? And when you think about community, a party is just a medium. But the real thing we're doing is like bringing together like-minded people who enjoy whatever that ethos is that you bring in. And what I realized is like that, and the thing about R&B House Party is so malleable that you could do it in so many different spaces. So even as I was like branding my business to be able to fit what brands needs were, so I could say, oh, I could just host, or I can do a full party, or I could do event production for you. The malleableness of that is really what like transition my mind to be able to say, hey, I don't want to be like a DJ. I don't want to be a host, if you will. What I want to be is like a Tom Joyner. I want to be somebody where when you hear my name, Charles Beloved, you expect a certain vibe, you expect a certain curation, you expect a certain demographic of people that's going to be there, which is going to be an inclusive space. You're going to feel like you belong, but most importantly, you know you're going to have a good time. So I just want to be the guy that you see, you say, oh, it's going to be a good time.
And you've been doing that. So how did R&B House Party get started?
Yeah, so R&B House Party initially got started in college as a R&B house party. A lot of people don't even know that. And so at DePaul University, PWI, we did have like a lot of surrounding Greek schools, and they would all come to our campus because our campus was like paid for, like our school paid for us to do events. So all the Greeks would come, and it just turned into a stroll fest for all the Indiana schools. And respectfully, I enjoyed it, but also hated it because I was trying to get on some girls. My wife would say, let me chill. And so I was like, yo, the sorority girls who weren't sororities were effectively like ruining the parties because they made the non-sorority girls feel like they couldn't do nothing, they couldn't dance, can't have a good time, you gotta get online. So I said, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw a house party at the Alpha House. We not gonna invite none of the sorority girls, and we just gonna have a blast. We're gonna play this one artist from Chicago. Can't talk about him no more, but that was the vibe. I figured you was gonna catch on. But we grew up on basement parties with a little red light. That was what we did.
That's how we got our start.
And so I was just trying to replicate that in a college environment. Long story short, sorority girls got wind of that and were like, no, we're gonna come. And I said, hey, we're gonna have a service level agreement. If you do come, it's a judgment-free zone. Like, if I hear any word about y'all judging anybody, like, y'all ain't never coming, nothing I'm ever doing again. I was serious. So we did it. The floor collapsed, literally. They didn't like go all the way through, but you could like see the basement. That's how jumping the energy was in that. So with that, we replicated that in New York. We saw the problem again, maybe 8 years, and it wasn't strolling, but it was all trap everything. It was Future, Migos, it was crazy. Like girls and heels, Millie rocking, bro. Like this is what they came to the club to do that. I said, you don't want to dance? You don't want to sing? So the concept That's crazy how cyclical the world is. It became a need again in New York City, and so I birthed it. But one caveat is, like, my wife was the one that put the bug in me to want to do parties. That was not something that I was ever passionate about. It was something I was interested in. I was a choir director, so I had a way of like moving people, but I didn't know what that medium was going to look like. And so I was going to another party all the time by one of my homies, and then people started hitting me up like, "Are you going? Are you going? Are you going?" And the crazy thing was, she was like, "Yo, people are going to that party for you." I was like, nah, I'm not even from here. They're not going for me. And she was like, "Yes, they are. You need to like do your own thing." And had she never told me, I probably would have never done a party in my life. But that's kind of how R&B House Party started. Whether I'm in work and I have on a suit and tie when I was back in my finance days, or if I'm wearing Jordans to work now, you know, working in tech, like people felt the energy. And if they feel the energy, they're like, what else is up with this guy? I have 2 full-time jobs. That's how I illustrate it, and it's a really great blessing, especially coming from where we came from in Chicago. You own real estate and all of that. Like, that's where I'm on. I'm just trying to create generational wealth, so I just don't sleep. But I have a passion for them both, right? And I would just say, like, the authenticity that I bring to this space where I'm bringing people together, that's what brands take notice of. And because I am a professional, I say that air quotes, I'm just Charles, but because I work a corporate job, I have a level of professionalism that I bring to this event space that a lot of people do not have. Be your authentic self. That was the one thing that a pivot into tech changed my approach, because I used to be a code switcher. And, you know, greetings and salutations, Jeffrey Osuji. It's a blessing for what a beautiful day, right? But tech allowed me to be a little bit more of that at work. And then it just trickled into the business so seamlessly that all these tech companies are hiring R&B House Party to be able to hire tech talent. It's like, I'm getting it from both sides. Let me not say too much.
I want to ask you, how do you feel that somebody's been doing R&B House Parties for a while, right?
Yeah.
With just the rise of R&B parties everywhere.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it, right? Similar to something you mentioned earlier, like it's space for everybody. Now, don't get me wrong, when I first started, and I'm in a place now, when I put R&B in the name, I don't know. But I think that maybe I would have, because there's a certain level of expectation that comes when you say R&B. You're thinking love, you're thinking inclusivity, you're thinking that because it says R&B, but also like that's not gonna be for everybody. But that was one of the things that actually resonated with me. I had to come and say, yeah, ticket sales are great. You know, the money, the revenue gen is great, but my party is not for everybody. I want people who are coming that's really trying to dance, really trying to sing, that wants this church-like environment that I'm creating. And that might not be a 21-year-old that want to hear Anita Baker, and I respect that. But there's a group of people that do want that. And so there's an R&B party that's perfect for a 21-year-old, you know what I mean? And so I think that everybody has their uniqueness, that special sauce, that ethos that's gonna connect with somebody and make it special to them, but all under the guise of R&B. That's a blessing, man. It's just like multi-generational music. I listened to R&B with my grandmama, and that was a different vibe. That was Patti LaBelle. That was, you know, whomever that was. And then my mama, I'm listening to Tony Braxton, Mary J. Blige. My dad, who had more of a gospel lens, but he was Morris Day at the time, and all these other artists, and all that together kind of created this beautiful musical mind that I have. Yeah, I would just say, be authentic to you, because the first thing people pick up on is inauthenticity. Like if you're doing something just for the money, like people hate that. You got to really be in this for the love, because as you know, more than anybody, it's going to be high highs, lows lows. So you got to be even keel. And even if you view yourself, don't use the word just. Eliminate that, whether you just starting, whether you just bought your first turntable. You're not just the host. You're not just the DJ. You're a business owner.
What's next for R&B House Party?
So R&B House Party, man. So yeah, I just actually signed. We just dropped. We're doing the Afro cruise. So we're doing a cruise from the Bahamas. So like what we were doing in Ghana, New Year's, we're doing it like Q1 on a cruise ship out of Miami. That's just gonna be wild. And like I said, I want to put together these different spaces where it's just like good energy, good people. You see Charles Beloved, you know it's gonna be a good time. That's gonna look like a family trip. Like I want to have all the poppin' pairs. I call it Watch Dads of LA to be facetious, but we cool. I got kids. I know I'm a little watch, but like we could do watch things together. So I want to take family trips. Like I really want to be Tom Jordan. I'm telling you that. So the brand partnership side, like I want to be at all of these cultural moments. This year I'm gonna be at Essence Fest with Essence Fest. We just rocking and rolling, man. And for this year, we're in the midst of the Bridge Tour, which is a celebration of the best R&B bridges of all time. And so when I say we just always coming up with new ways to get people excited about this R&B genre. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep making it authentic. We're gonna make sure that you leave that place feeling lifted, man. And that's the most important thing. I view this thing kind of like a ministry, bro. So if you get one interaction with me, hopefully you feel a little bit better than you did before you met me.
R&B House Party. Congrats.
Good to see you, brother. Congrats to you too, man. Make sure y'all get on that event noir, baby. Yes, you know what we're here for. Let's keep it in the company.